Good day, ma'am. I am Dulce Madrona, and I'm here to report the chapter 10, which is Organization for Sales and Advertising. Organization for Sales and Advertising. Why sales are important? Sales are said to be the lifeblood of a business. Certainly, without sales, which means orders, a company could not continue in business very long. The continuance primarily depends on the orders that the sales department gets. And sales and marketing. Sales as a department of an enterprise, it is but manifestation of the bigger business function of marketing. Very often, sales and marketing are used interchangeably. And marketing functions. In the marketing of industrial, commercial, and consumer goods, certain inescapable tasks must be performed. These tasks are called marketing functions. These functions are buying, selling, transportation, storage, standardization, finance, risk-taking, and the providing of market information. And first, we have to explain what is buying. First is buying. This involves the selection of the kind of goods to be bought and the determination of the quality desired, as well as the proper quantity needed for the specified purpose. The buyer also must select the sources of the goods that he wants. And I'm also discuss the selling. Selling is an important characteristic of a capitalistic economy is speculative production, the manufacture of goods before orders for them are received. Manufacturers produce the things that they think consumers will want and then try to sell them. For example, toy manufacturers produce their line of Christmas produce months before the holiday selling seasons opens. They hope that consumers will like and buy the things they have made. And we have here the sellings can be divided into three parts. The three parts are in selling is personal selling. Next is advertising, which has been called impersonal selling, and next is sales promotion, which has sales promotion, which includes those activities that supplement personal selling and advertising. And we have here the transportation. Transportation goods must be transported in most instances from the places where they are produced to the places where they will be consumed. Transportation has a dual duty to perform. Goods must be taken to the places where they are wanted when they are wanted. Next is storage. Storage is another essential marketing function. In many lines of business, goods are produced considerably in advance of the time of sale, and consequently, they must be stored for varying periods of time. We have here the standardization. The development and maintenance of standards is of value in helping buyers and sellers to transact business in an intelligent and helpful manner. There may be standards of quantity, such as weights and measures, and container and can sizes, or standards or quality, which are concerned with such differences in goods as grade, substances, wearability, and service ability. Next is market finance. Handling of any economic good in a capitalistic system calls for a methods of financing. If the goods are paid for immediately, the buyer must provide the necessary funds, which may be either his own or those that he has borrowed. Next is market risk. The market risk, the mere act of owning goods, carries with it the inescapable burden of assuming certain risks in connection with them. And next is market information. Market information, if the businessman hopes to achieve success in the face of the rugged competition that is characteristic of many fields, he must have market information upon to base his decisions. This information covers such topics as prices, the extent of the market, location of the market, consumer preferences, the character of the demand, and conditions of supply. And we have also here the place of the sales department in the organization. In manufacturing, mining, transportation, and other similar enterprises, the activity of selling is on a par with other major activities. As earlier stated, it is one of the two most important business functions, the other being manufacturing or production. And we have here the sales organizations. The sales organization should be developed to meet the specific needs of the enterprise. The organization structure, however, is influenced by many factors, among which are: first is the nature of the product, the nature of the market sought, the marketing plan, the outgrowth of the custom or tradition, the size of the company, and volumes of sales. Nature of the product. The company should choose the type of organization best suited to market to the product. For instance, industrial or producers' goods are often sold direct to the customers or with a minimum of channels of distribution, and therefore require a smaller sales organization to distribute the same volume. And nature of market sought. The nature of the market sought influences the type of sales organization, somewhat in the same manner as does the nature of the product. The market of consumers' goods is a broad one. The market for producers' goods is more restricted. And the marketing plan. The plan of marketing is often governed by the nature of the product as well as by the market desired, although they are not the only basis of selecting a particular plan. And customs and tradition. Customs or tradition is influential in determining the channel to be used for marketing the product, and the particular channel suggests certain types of sales organization. Certain companies break with customs and select channels they deem best and which are particularly noticeable in frequent attempts to fit organization to the capacities of available sales personnel. And the size of the company. The size of the enterprise and its sales force The small enterprise may have no separate sales research, advertising, or promotional department, whereas the large enterprises may have these departments attached to the parent organization and may also have similar departments for the respective operating divisions. The philosophy of the management. This factor may likewise influence the sales organization structure. One company, for instance, may be inclined to believe in highly centralized control with all major decisions in relation to credit, advertising, and support confined in the home office. On the other hand, another company may follow the practice of promoting decentralized sales activities. And we have here the essential functions of selling efforts. Making sales does not mean merely taking orders. It means locating more and more possible users of the product or service and persuading them to buy. Selling may be divided into three functions. We have here is the finding out what people want and need. Next is finding people who want or need it. Next is getting orders from them. In broader sense, however, selling may take on more diversified activities. In a big marketing organization, the function of selling would be further subdivided into the following functions. First is the product planning and development. This function finds out what customers want and need. It seeks to satisfy the desires of buyers. It determines the kind, form, style, and quality that the goods to be sold should possess. Next is contactual function. This refers to the task of seeking out and locating buyers. When salesmen go from establishments looking for buyers who may want their goods, they are engaged in this function. We have here the demand creation. This is essentially the task of advertising. Selling is not involved merely in satisfying existing needs. It also creates new desires and demands. We have here a negotiation. The seller must negotiate with the buyer on quality, quantity, shipment, payment, and other incidentals of the sale. There has to be a meeting of the minds. Next is contractual. The seller transfers retail over his goods to the buyer. This is done through a contract, whether verbal or written. And channels of distribution. By channel of the distribution are meant the steps by which products are distributed from the producer or manufacturer to the consumer. It refers to the course followed in the transfer to the title to goods. The work of the various channels makes more efficient the marketing function. We may examine the work according to the following paths that the flow of goods may take. First is through jobbers. Next is direct to retailers. 3 is to consumers. 4 is through brokers or agents. Through jobbers. This jobber assembles the products from manufacturers, stores them, and sells them to retailers. In so doing, the jobbers assume risk of price fluctuation, obsolescence or damage, and non-payment of credit extended to customers. The jobber also sorts and ships products according to the retailer's needs. Direct to retailer. Direct distribution by the manufacturer to the retailers has some distinct advantages. Direct to consumers. This channel of distribution is needed for the product, which requires a high degree of technical training of salesmen in order to sell it, and when services must be rendered in connection with the product after it is sold. Next is through brokers or agents. The broker usually performs only one major product, which performs only one major functions of distributions, selling. In contrast with a jobber, the broker or agent usually sells only one type of product. The broker most frequently handles the distribution of products and goods at the same time with consumer goods, but in lesser degree. We have here the kinds of goods. The sales manager may handle the marketing of producers' goods and consumers' goods. Producers' goods, often called industrial goods, are those goods used in the further production of the other goods, and the consumers' goods are sold to ultimate consumers for their own use. Producers' goods are divided into: first is raw materials such as iron, ore, lumber, cotton, chemicals, or agricultural products. Two is fabricated products such as the spare parts used in the assembly of automobiles, radios, refrigerators, conveyors, office equipment, and the like. Number 4 is supplies, which are goods needed in production but which do not enter into the product itself. Consumers' goods. We have here the consumers' goods are divided into: first is convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsought goods. Continuous sales research and necessary. Many concerns maintain research bureaus in order to keep abreast of developments in both product and markets. Professional researchers are available for concerns that do not wish to operate their own research department. One of the most important purposes of sales research is to develop new products and improve the old ones. Next is market research. Market research, the study of markets, is then another job for sales research. Markets may be actual or potential. An actual market is one in which there is an existing demand, which may or may not be supplied at the present time. In any case, the demand is there. A potential market is one in which the demand does not merely exist, considering demand as an expressed desire and not merely as an unexpressed need. The potential market may offer greater possibility than the actual market, but its development may take longer and cost more. There are 5 directions that may be taken to meet competition, in any one or all of which may be necessary, as may be determined by the market studies and the research department. These directions are price, quality, service, terms, and product. Price, its importance. Commonly, price is the expression of market value. It is the amount of money that will purchase the goods or services and which an article can command an exchange. The consumer's price is the amount of the money he must pay for the goods or services. The producer's price, the amount of money he receives for the product. Quality is not all important, but plays an important part in business and in competition. Quality is for quality, other things being equal. The low price is more attractive than the high price. What is quality? Quality is considered more important than price, especially when buying to specifications. The term quality, however, has been rather misused. The term quality goods does not mean what many consumers think it means, for quality exists in different levels. Relation of quality, price, and service. Quality and price are powerful factors in meeting competition, but they must supplement each other to be wholly effective. It is difficult to convince satisfied customers that a competing product is as good as the established one. We have here the terms. Terms is the fourth factor considered in competition, though it is not so important as price. Quality and service. Terms refers to the time allowed to customers for paying bills and includes also cash and trade discounts. Trade discount is the deduction allowed to the trade by a manufacturer to a wholesalers or other tailors or another wholesaler. It is a simul way of adjusting price. Sales planning and sales promoting. Effective direction of the sales effort of an enterprise requires careful planning or routine operations, special attention to promotional works and dynamic leadership in the entire program. To effect the conceived planning, the following are required. First is qualified personnel force. 2 is a special approach. 3 is a study of markets and territories. We have here the personnel forces. The very first one to be mentioned is the sales manager, who must possess the desired characteristics to undertake the work mentioned above. He is responsible for the hiring of qualified persons to perform each function. For instances, in the case of planning of sales quotas, forecasting regional possibilities, and the handling of the multitude of data necessary for the smooth operation, personnel of high-level qualifications are needed. A special approach. Sales promotion also requires a special approach, which includes constructive imagination, if it is to be truly creative and not merely a repetition of previous efforts. The study of markets and territories. Sales planning involves the study of markets and territories. It requires an analysis of past results, trends in industry, and a consideration of general business conditions. The field sales force. The supervision of the field sales force is such an important aspect of sales management that it deserves a special mention. And we have here the advertising. Advertising is defined as any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified sponsor. This definition involves 4 key elements. The 4 key elements is first is paid form, next is non-personal presentation, next is ideas and services as well as goods, Next, and identified a sponsor. That is the four key elements in advertising. The advertising department. The advertising department is usually a division of the sales department in a manufacturing enterprise, in which case the advertising manager is responsible to the sales manager. And purpose of advertising. The study of business shows that advertising is used for numerous purposes. Some companies, however, have not given adequate thought to the question of exactly what they are trying to accomplish with their advertising. Assisting salesmen in marketing sales. Extensive advertising is used by manufacturers for this purpose. The idea is to familiarize the customer with his products and to create a favorable attitude toward his company before the salesman is extended a cordial welcome by the customer. That is my report in chapter 10, which is Organization for Sales and Advertising.